Michelle, thank you for arranging Mom's funeral. Jay and I could not have done it without your help. I just wanted to take a moment to express my sincere gratitude and appreciation for everything you've done for our family for a long time. Your kindness, patience, and understanding have meant so much to us, and we're truly grateful for all the sacrifices you've made on our behalf. Thank you, Michelle, for being there for Mom when she needed you the most. We cannot thank you enough for your dedication over the past 7 years, and we will always remember your generosity and selflessness. I mean it when I say this. If it weren't for you, we would have had much harder time sending Mom away. I am truly grateful for all the help and support you provided us during this difficult process. We could not have done it without you.
Hi, Ruth. I did it for Betty. She treated me like her own daughter rather than her daughter-in-law during her lifetime, and I should reciprocate that level of affection. It's sad that I can't do more for her now.
I'm thankful and everything, but if someone who didn't know us saw us, they might think that you are her daughter and I'm her daughter-in-law. You were crying so uncontrollably when Mom was carried away to the crematorium that you almost fainted, and I felt awkward and embarrassed standing next to you. As her biological daughter, I tried to remain calm and composed, but seeing you crying like that made me wonder what others would think of me.
You didn't have to try to remain calm and composed. You were allowed to lose it. It was your mom who passed.
I didn't want to show crying uncontrollably to anyone, unlike someone I know. It's not that I don't appreciate your love and affection toward my mom, but it's important to maintain a certain level of decorum and composure during formal events like funerals. I understand that you loved her dearly, and losing her is a deeply emotional experience, but you went overboard. We need to think about how our actions and behaviors might be perceived by others. We don't want to give the wrong impression or create unnecessary misunderstandings.
What wrong impression or unnecessary misunderstandings? The part where her own daughter couldn't stop smiling from the beginning to the end of her funeral process, and her daughter-in-law was so opposite of her?
Was I supposed to cry out loud in front of the guests like you? That wouldn't be polite to the guests who came to pay their respects. Mom was sick all the time due to minor and major illnesses, but she lived until the age of 73, which can be considered a blessing. I don't think it was necessary for you to cry and make a scene to that extent. Don't you think it's better for Mom to rest in peace in heaven, free from the suffering of illness and living without dignity, who was unable to even get up from her bed or take care of herself without your help? Nowadays, people say that the 70s are the new 50s, but Mom couldn't enjoy that. It must have been pitiful for her to be like that in front of her daughter-in-law, even if she never said such a thing. It seemed like a good thing for both Mom and you, but was it really necessary for you to cry so much like that?
You claim to care so much about your mom, but you couldn't even be there for her final moments. What an irony, right? Betty spent the last 3 days before her passing desperately waiting and calling out your and your brother's names. Why didn't you bother to visit her at the hospital? Not even once?
I told you I was busy. You might not know how a mom's life is because you don't have a child, but I don't have the luxury of going to a hospital because I'm a mom. I don't have time for that. And how was I supposed to bring my 3-year-old child to the hospital to see my dying mom? What if something happened and my little one got scared or traumatized? She had to go, but we must continue living our lives. I can't wait by her bed endlessly when I don't know when she's going to pass, putting my own baby aside. Mom would surely understand because she was a mother too.
Did you have to hurt Betty's feelings like that when you're also a mom raising your own child? I'm really disappointed. You left all the caregiving and hospital bills to me. And on top of that, you didn't even fulfill your duty to be there for your own mom's passing. And then you showed up at the funeral smiling, as if nothing had happened. Is your little brain filled with cotton flowers or something?
Don't you think you're the one who lived foolishly without a brain? You're the one who gave up everything for a stranger who has not shared a drop of the same blood. You must be an idiot.
Excuse me?
I am grateful to you for being a faithful caregiver for my mom for the past 7 years. Thanks to you, I was able to send her to heaven without getting my hands dirty even once, and I was enabled to inherit our mother's assets as well. She must have secretly accumulated a great deal of wealth. What should you do when I'm the one who is receiving the inheritance instead of you when you did all the work? The thought of receiving free money is so exciting that I can't sleep and focus on anything. It's a shame that you don't know what I'm talking about.
Is that why you were smiling all through the funeral like a psychopath?
Yes, I was. So what? Wouldn't it be the same for you, me, or anyone else? No one hates money in this world. Everyone tries to make a lot of money, and free money is even better. If I inherit the money from Mom, I can buy a spacious single-family house with a big yard and a luxurious car like a Tesla. What about you, though? Poor Michelle. You have been my mom's hands and feet for 7 years, but unfortunately the law does not recognize you as an heir. I guess that means a daughter-in-law is an outsider. It must be very unfair to you, but the law strictly specifies a daughter-in-law cannot be an heir. What can we do about that, right? Should I say, I'm sorry for you not getting anything after what you've done for my mom? It would be better for your mental health to give up on it sooner than later, because that's the law, and you'll never be able to get it. Jay and I have made decisions already. I'll take the money, and Jay will take the house, so don't be shameful and try to take them when they clearly don't belong to you, okay? We're going to see the attorney today for the inheritance process. You don't need to show up just because you're Jay's wife. You're not invited, and not welcomed.
It's truly a shame that you two are now so eager to lay your hands on your mother's hard-earned assets, when you never showed compassion toward her for such a long time. For 7 years, you never bothered to lend a helping hand when it was needed, nor did you care enough to change a single diaper. And yet, now that she's passed away, you're suddenly interested in what she left behind. It's sad when greed takes over familial ties and the love and respect you have for your mother is overshadowed by a desire for material possessions. If you truly had any affection for her, you would have been there for her when she needed you the most. You would have been by her side, tending to her needs and easing her pain, but you were never there. Although she didn't say anything, she must have felt hurt and disappointed by your and Jay's behaviors. It's hard to imagine the pain she must have gone through, being neglected by her own children when she was in need. And now, in her absence, you're only interested in what you can gain from her assets. But the truth is, material possessions hold no value in comparison to the love and respect we have for our loved ones. If you actually cared about your mother, you would have been there for her when she needed you, and the issue of her assets would not even be a concern. In the end, her legacy is not in the assets she left behind, but in the memories of love she shared with her children and grandchild.
Who do you think you are, giving me a lecture about my mom and whatever? You're crossing a line when you're about to be dumped by my brother. You're going to be left with nothing pretty soon, but I guess you're not aware of that, are you?
Am I? What do you mean?
Did you not notice that my brother has been seeing someone behind your back? I wonder how you didn't realize your husband was having an affair for years. You should have paid attention to your husband rather than devoting yourself to caring for your mother-in-law. It's sad to see you being abandoned by my brother after what you've done for his mom for such a long time. This is why it's significant to prioritize what's more important and what comes first in your life.
Is that true? Jay has been cheating on me behind my back for years?
Wait and see if you don't believe me. He's going to declare a divorce pretty soon. I think I've told you enough about what's going on. I told you everything for your sake as a token of appreciation for taking care of my mom. Take care of it on your own from this point on. All I care about is my share of the inheritance. I don't care how my brother's marriage or divorce goes. Good luck.
I just heard something funny from Ruth. Don't you have anything to say to me?
Like what? Oh, right. I almost forgot to say. I should say thank you for everything. Honey, thank you so much for everything that you've done for my mom and my family. As her son, I am incredibly grateful for all that you've done for my mom. 7 years of devoted care is a monumental feat that not many people are capable of, and it speaks volumes about your love and dedication towards her. But what truly touched my heart was when you went above and beyond to make sure that her passing away was peaceful and dignified. The formal and respectful atmosphere that you created during her final moments was a testament to the love and respect that you had for her. It was a beautiful and fitting tribute to the amazing woman that she was and the incredible life that she led. I know that she would have been proud of the way that you honored her memory. Thank you for being an incredible daughter-in-law and for always putting our family first. I owe you a great deal of debt of gratitude that I promise to repay in my next life.
What the hell are you talking about? If you think you owe me, you should repay me in this life. What kind of next life are you talking about?
That's because I'm not someone who can love multiple women at the same time. Besides, I'm a person who is too inadequate. I can hold only one person in my heart, and unfortunately, that person is not you. I'll be honest, since it seems like you've already heard everything, I'm in love with someone else, and I want you to let me go. I appreciate all that you've done for me and my family, but I want to spend the rest of my life without any regrets, and that means being with the woman I love. She's the one true love of my life, and I want to grow old with her as my official spouse. To do that, I need you to divorce me.
Are you saying that you want to live with the love of your life now that your mother has passed away and you no longer need me to take care of her?
Regrettably, yes, you're correct.
What was I to you? Was I just a caregiver and a maid who took care of your mother and you?
There's no need for you to be so pessimistic about it. Marriage doesn't have to exist only in one form, right? There are countless reasons why people get married, such as for love, money, fame, or even just appearances. I married you because I needed a woman who could take care of my mom and support me, that's all. I needed you one way or the other. It was just not necessarily for a traditional form of love.
You're confidently asserting such nonsense as if it were the truth. That's ridiculous.
Isn't marriage supposed to be done for the purpose of achieving a goal? Isn't it marriage to consider it for one's own benefit? Didn't you think that way? Why didn't you?
So, you're saying your purpose of marrying me was to use me as your mother's caregiver and your maid, and you don't need me anymore because she's gone. Is that what it is?
Now things have happened already. It seems like your situation will only become more pathetic if you think about it that way. Let's break up. It's about time to say goodbye to each other. Please, divorce me and get the hell out of my house. I'll go through the proper process of property division, and I'll make sure that you get an appropriate amount of assets and properties on top of alimony. Don't worry about that. But you need to get out of the house because I'm getting this house from Mom. It's mine, and I don't invite you into this house to live together.
Did you just say property division? You've been coming up with all sorts of excuses all this time to spend money? What property are you talking about? Do you even have any property to divide? You don't have anything left. I'll pack up your belongings in a box and leave them outside the door for you to pick up. Go to the love of your life with that. This time, it's a marriage based on love, so I hope you live happily ever after, loving each other until death do you part.
Were you not listening to me? Have you finally lost it after being dumped by me and losing Mom who you leaned on? I thought I said that I'm getting this house, which means it's mine, and I don't want to live with you anymore.
You really need to get your facts straight. It's audacious to see such things for someone who has never taken care of his mother, who was bedridden for 7 years. Do you seriously think you can inherit this house? Do you think your sister can inherit her mother's assets? It's all just a pipe dream, as long as I'm alive and well. Even if I die, you won't get anything. We'll soon be divorced and become strangers, remember? You'll soon be another woman's husband.
What the hell are you talking about? I don't follow at all.
Of course you don't. How could you understand when you've never paid attention to your mom or me? This house was gifted to me by Betty a year ago, so there's absolutely no way you will inherit it. On top of that, she also has gifted all of her money to me, So make sure to tell your sister that as well. Tell her that she's the one who shouldn't be shameful and try to take the assets when they clearly don't belong to her. Prepare her for a shock that might feel like a bolt from the blue. I won't be able to take care of anyone who falls down this time because I won't be your wife anymore, remember? You should ask the love of your life to take care of you and your sister. Your love should be able to do that for you, right?
I don't believe that. I'm calling Ruth right now. This is an important matter that we have to fight over between the two of us and you alone.
Did you say my mom gifted everything to you, including her house and money? There's no damn way that can be true. Why are you taking all my mom's property when you're a total stranger? They belong to us. We're her children, not you. That's the law. What kind of dirty trick did you use to her that made her give you everything she had? Tell me.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I have never used any kind of tricks.
If you didn't do anything, why did my mom give you the house and money? Confess everything you've done and give back the house and money. Otherwise, I'll find the best lawyer and take everything away from you. Give it all back when I ask nicely.
I just accepted what she wanted to give me. So how can you take them away from me? Do you think you can just take everything away with the help of a top lawyer if I don't give it to you? Don't you still get why she had to make such a painful decision? Why do you think she gave it to me instead of her own children? If you could tell me just one thing that you two did for her during the 7 years she was bedridden, please, go ahead.
I didn't have time to take care of or pay attention to Mom because I was too busy working and making money for the both of you. Isn't that what all men do? Don't you think things at home should be taken care of by you as long as I provide the money?
Don't you dare make excuses. Instead of watching TV and playing games on your phone while lying on the couch, you could have spared a second looking at your mother's face, holding her hand, and having a few words with her. What kind of son doesn't check in on his mother when she's in the hospital or recovering from surgery? Were you even interested if she was sick or not? Do you think you deserve to be called her son after being so negligent about your own mother?
I said I was busy working and putting food on the table.
I was busy too, raising a kid and taking care of my own family. Why are you making such a big deal of it when taking care of your mother-in-law is supposed to be her daughter-in-law's responsibility? It's how it's supposed to be.
Have you ever seen the bitter expression in your mother's eyes as she weakly smiled at the nurse's words, "Your daughter is so devoted to her mom," every time she was hospitalized? She didn't even hope for any care from you. She just wished you came and showed your face to her. Was that too much to ask for her? Do you know what your mother talked about the most until she passed? She said she cried tears of joy when she gave birth to you. You were her first child, and she loved you so much. She woke up in the middle of the night multiple times to check if you were breathing because she was worried about your small, fragile life. Then she woke up again to see if you were sleeping well. Your mother talked about every milestone in your life, from your first words to your first steps, to the day you told her about your first boyfriend, going to college, getting a job, getting married, getting pregnant, and giving birth to your child. She talked about your growth process over and over again, and her expressions of peace, happiness, and sadness while talking about you are still vivid in my mind. What about you? What is the image of your mother in your head as her daughter? While she couldn't stop thinking and talking about you until she closed her eyes, how did you picture your mother?
Did she really miss me and think about me so much? Yeah, that's how it used to be back then. There were times when she was the best and I couldn't live without her. I remember all the things she did for me and how much she loved me. She was always there for me, even when things were tough. She would listen to my problems and offer words of wisdom and encouragement. She was my biggest cheerleader and my best friend. But why did it turn out like this? Suddenly I miss her so much, but she's gone to a place where I can never see her again. I want to hear her voice and tell her I love her and she will listen to me, but she is gone forever from this world. It's hard to accept that she's really gone.
Ruth, what is wrong with you? Oh, wake up, don't be fooled by Michelle. Don't you realize we're gonna lose everything to her if you're being so emotional like this? Money is all we have left now. Mom is gone already, and we can't do anything about that. But we can do something about her assets. So keep it together and let's hold on to what we have left. Don't let Michelle take everything from us.
Hey, you are the one who should be snapped out of it. Did you have to be a monster just because I did? How could you do that to Mom after what she did for you? You left everything to Michelle and had fun with another woman, and you're still being like a lazy bum acting recklessly. Apologize to Michelle right now and repent sincerely to Mom like you mean it.
How am I supposed to stand back on my feet when even you're doing this to me? My heart is already broken with grief and regret for Mom, and if you act like that too, then what am I supposed to do? Michelle, I am so sorry, honey. I was a fool. Don't ever forgive me. I know how hard and painful it was for you to take care of my mom, who was a stranger to you. I am really sorry.
It's right that you should apologize for your infidelity, but I never thought taking care of Betty was painful and hard. One day I happened to take a look at her wallet. Inside the wallet, there was a photo of her and me that was taken on a spring day when the daffodils were in full bloom. Behind the photo, there was a note that said, "With my beloved daughter." I wasn't just a daughter-in-law to her, but her own daughter. So when she offered to give me the house and the money, I gladly accepted them because I am her daughter and she is my mother.
I am so sorry, Michelle, and thank you so much for everything that you've done.
After that, I divorced my husband and I got a fat payout from alimony. Knowing that he didn't have that kind of money, I assume he took out a loan. I also heard from a mutual friend that he broke up with his mistress and cried out loud saying that he couldn't even dream of getting back together with me due to his lack of shame. It made me feel a bit sad, but that's as far as it goes. The mirror that I cherished and kept clean has already been shattered. It can't go back to the way it was. As for my sister-in-law, there was no mention of the money or house after that, and I heard that she was working hard along with her husband. I'm sure my mother would be proud of her children who are repenting and trying to live right, although it was a little bit late. I am living every day with gratitude for the house and money that my mother left me. It's still lonely and empty living alone in the house where she and I used to live together, but at the same time I'm happy to live in the house where I can cherish the memories of her. Although she was gone to a place where she can never return, I hope she can live there without pain, sadness, or longing toward her children. Like the photo we took on the day when the daffodil flowers were in full bloom, I hope my mother, myself, my husband, and my sister-in-law all have a happy future. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe for more videos.